Hello and welcome back, YouTube. It's 10:38 p.m. Sunday, August 20th, 2023. And actually I did get in a much better frame of mind once I got to work. I genuinely like this job. And it's a shame it doesn't pay more. Because if my take home at this job was comparable to what my take home at Amazon was, I'd be 100% content here. Alright, I decided to cut that last little bit short because I realized I was walking right behind one of the new guys. Didn't want to seem like the crazy psycho guy that talks to himself. Even though I'm the crazy psycho guy that talks to himself. Of course, tonight was really all about talking to myself because I was the leader of a crew of one. Just me. Glenn did not show up tonight. By the way, it's 10:41 now. As I head on out of here. Not quite sure what I want to do tonight. I mean, turning my hat off, my tag off, my hair feels nasty. It's been so, not hot, but just warm enough, and my scalp has been sweating, and it's humid, and I feel muggy. But yeah, no word from Glenn. Didn't show up, didn't call. Basically 2 shifts in a row that he's done that on, so I kind of got a feeling he's probably not coming back, which is a bummer. I really, really like working with Glenn, and I felt like him and I were super efficient together. I saw Anthony at the beginning of my shift. I don't think he really stuck around tonight. I don't really know what to think about that, other than I didn't really have him for direction tonight. I just kind of led myself. I mean, I'm the night shift lead. That's sort of a supervisor position, even if the only person I was ultimately supervising was myself. I shouldn't say I was by myself the entire night. Actually, I spent the first two and a half hours ish working with Andre, which is great. I haven't seen Andre in like a week and a half, and yeah, I mean, he's still crazy. There were times he was talking where I was thinking, God, I should record this because this is nuts. But in spite of that, I thoroughly enjoy working with him. It's really pleasant. We're really efficient. And I told him about how I kind of had my doubts as to whether Glenn was going to show up tonight, that he hadn't shown up on Thursday and was late on Wednesday. The whole reason I was even here working on Sunday was this was a change that Glenn had kind of wanted, and I was down for it. And then I explained to him, I said, yeah, Glenn came here last Sunday and he was by himself. I said, well, he wasn't exactly by himself. He goes, oh? I said, yeah, he was here with, oh man, I forget her name. The chick with the really big butt that isn't into men. What the heck is her name? Jasmine. I said, yeah, so he came here and was with Jasmine. I said that should pretty much tell you everything you need to know. And Andre started laughing. He's like, yeah, it's like, you don't have to tell me anything else. I can see how that went. So I don't know if she was working tonight or not. I didn't see her at all. I don't know if she's still scheduled on Sundays, and if she is scheduled, if she bothered to come in. Once Andre left, I pretty much realized I was on my own, and I just, generally speaking, drove cars that were ready to rent up. If I could figure out where they went, then I put them away. And if I couldn't, then I put them in, I forget what the hell the line is called, where they put ones that need to be sorted and put away. There's like kind of a place for them. In fact, the lot's really, really full, so there were a whole bunch of random places where people had stuck cars where normally cars don't go. I was not part of that. I put them in the place where they normally do go. before they get put into spots. If the person putting them up there doesn't know exactly what spot to put them in, or if there's not places available in the spot where it goes. I had a few that I put in places where I thought they went. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure I put them in the right spots. And at one point, I just took it upon myself to straighten up the area. I don't even know what the hell they call it. Like, there's a name for that line. It's by the elevator and entrance that's closest to the Hertz in line. I can't for the life of me think of what that area is called, where the clean cars get staged to get put into spots to be rented. But anyway, at one point, kind of later in the night after the shop closed, assuming the shop closed at 8, to be honest, I have no idea what time it closes on a Sunday. I hardly talked to anybody tonight. It was really weird. Like, I was just kind of doing my own thing and nobody was really questioning it. The one time I saw Anthony, we talked really briefly as he gave me a ride upstairs, and he pretty much told me, if you don't know where the cars go, put them in that one line. He told me what it's called, I forget what it is. I knew what he was talking about. So anyway, I was putting cars there. At one point, I was parking one there in what I thought would be the last space in that row. And the guy that they almost paired me up with on what was my first day of working with Glenn, and I don't know his name, but he was the guy they were going to pair me up with that generally does electric. Like, that's his thing. He pretty much is the crew for working on electric vehicles at night. And what I mean by working on them is not working on them, but basically making sure that they're all fully charged before they go up to get rented, and then making sure that the reserve spots that have electric chargers on them, like, have... I'm not sure entirely everything he does, to be honest, but basically he's kind of in charge of making sure that electric vehicles are charged before they're rented. And there's certain reserve spaces that have chargers in them that are reserved for electric vehicles, and he makes sure certain vehicles are in those. Anyway, I don't think I've mentioned he's a dwarf. Or is he a midget? I'm not 100% sure the difference between a dwarf or a midget. Although I've been told that the word midget is somehow inappropriate now. Which is weird, because all the midgets that I know personally have no issue with the word. At least they've never said that to me. But, and now there's the term little person, which I think is just a politically correct term for midget. I don't know the difference. I really don't. Although I do know there are some midgets that look just like small people and that are proportional, and there are some that kind of have the look of... kind of have the circus sideshow kind of look going on, and our electric vehicle guy falls into the latter category. Not holding that against him, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me a wee bit uneasy. Although the more I work with him, the more comfortable I get around him, so there's that. At one point, he was what he was using as his personal shag to get around was one of the Kia EV6s, which are, of all the different electric vehicles we have, it's debatable which is more impressive, the Kia or the Polestar, which is kind of weird. I mean, Polestar is a luxury brand. It's my understanding that Polestar is engineered by Volvo, and they're phenomenally amazing cars. Notice I'm not mentioning Tesla. Yeah, we've got Tesla Model 3s all over the lot. Nobody likes them. Nobody that works there likes them. The more I mess with Model 3s, the more I realize that they're just not all that. They've got a very cheap feel to them. They're just overall kind of suck. I could go off and I could really go off on all the things I don't like about Tesla Model 3s, but yeah, I'm not going to get sidetracked on that. But the Kia EV6, nobody really thinks of Kia when they're thinking about, luxury high-end car, but the Kia EV6 is just loaded with features and tech, but it's not like a Tesla Model 3 where you've just got this really big tablet that just looks bolted onto a plain-ass dashboard. This thing, when you sit down in it, just feels like a cockpit that completely surrounds you with all kinds of controls. Now, to be fair, I haven't figured out how to control everything in it. I'm kind of overwhelmed by it. At one point, I sat down in one, and Rich Men from North of Richmond came on, which is the first time I've heard that on broadcast radio. And I really, really wanted to see what radio station was playing that, because it was playing under the impression that that was one of those things that has gone viral online that radio stations won't touch. And so it was kind of a moment for me to hear it on a broadcast radio station, and damned if I could figure out in that Kia how to adjust the volume or even see what radio station was playing. I was glad I was able to hear the radio, though. That's something. Now, obviously the EV dwarf has figured out, I'm sure he knows everything there is, and I'm sure if I asked him, he'd probably give me a crash course on how to use all the fancy ass features. The guy's pants were down. Yikes. Would give me a crash course on how to use all the fancy ass features on a Kia EV6. Wow, it is always so sketchy at that Circle K. Some guy digging in the trash to the left of me. Sketchy people in front of me. I was wanting to come in here and get my fucking, get my drink. Damn. I think it's the last time I sip and save. It's either the last day of my sip and save or yesterday was. I'm not sure. I still got to find out. And the screen is laggy. It's almost there. Holy crap. No, all the paper. It just seems like way too many Circle K sub-fountains just to not stock completely.
Yeah, this Circle K is working.
I don't pass by as many Circle K as I used to. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you. There was a woman at the counter that was bent over and looked really good from behind, bent over. I never did get a look at her face, so I'm kind of curious to see what she looks like from the front. At one point, I kind of got a half glance at her. She looked like super, super old, so not worth waiting for, though. I think my daughter's trying to reach me with a bunch of group messages. Group messages always make me uneasy. I can't stand group messages, so I'm not responding to any of that. Oh, so anyways, I was saying the EV dwarf came over and told me that not to park them back that far. So I ended up moving it somewhere else, and he explained to me where that one would go, you know, if I could find a spot for it, and I did. Actually, you know what? I think I just moved that into a different line. I forget. At one point, I noticed that whole area was just not... that it had room for way more, like it was all full, but it shouldn't be full. It was just full because people didn't put them in neatly. So I just kind of took it upon myself to organize all of that. But yeah, I just kind of self-directed myself to just kind of stay busy, and I stayed busy the whole night, so... I know, it was kind of odd. It really felt weird, like... 100% doing my own thing. If I had a supervisor, I didn't know who he was. All in all, really pleasant night at work. When I was here getting my vest and my hat, which I had left here on Thursday night, somebody said there's karaoke tonight, but it's all show tunes. I'm exceptionally curious to see how that plays out. See if I can do something from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. See if that's considered a show tune.